Hello, everybody.
Hi, guys. Welcome to a new video. So today we are going to
Tell you how we plan a trip.
exactly, or how to not plan a trip.
Yeah.
So obviously, first couple steps, no matter what you're going on, whether it's a long trip, a short trip, doesn't really matter. You got to pick where you're going first off. I feel like that's pretty basic. So pick where you're gonna go.
Also, if you're trying to save money, just go on Skyscanner and click anywhere.
Skyscanner, baby, will always recommend. It's the best. And then Google Flights is a good one too, but Skyscanner just to see what's
Skyscanner is
cheap,
just so easy,
yeah.
and it just gives you the cheapest option,
You
and
really
it shows
don't
you
care
all
where you
your
wanna go.
options. Yeah.
But if you're set in mind, you got a destination, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go to, we'll just say France. Like you want to go to Paris, great. You find your cheap ticket, you go there, and then obviously like step 2 is book your first place. We do that too. Like you book your first place, obviously. You need a place to stay, like to sleep. However, other than that, that's about the only things we like.
We don't even book return flights.
No.
We literally just book the flights there and then figure it out. But if you know you're going to be in one place, you're going for like a week and you're going to leave from that place, obviously
everybody's situation is different. Everybody's trip is different. So it's like if you're going for a really long time and you're traveling around Europe, you could even be traveling, like you could hop from Europe and you could go to Asia after that, or to the Middle East, or you could go to like Mexico, or like if you're doing that type of trip, that's like a whole different thing. Then you're really like traveling around, and you really shouldn't have a ticket home because you don't know what's happening.
Especially in Europe, it's like it's so easy to just like go places for like 2 days that it's like, I don't know, I wouldn't book a return flight home because like you might be somewhere for like 4 days and be like, oh, I want to go to Italy for like my last 3 days or whatever, and it's just better to fly out from there.
However, I will say though, if you do find a cheap flight home from some country that you know you want to go to and you know it's feasible to like actually get there, then honestly book it and just make sure you're there by the time you you booked it. Like it's really that easy. Like it's so like don't be worried about, oh my god, I have to be in this country by this time. Like it's not like,
and it's so cheap to travel around when you're there. So it's you'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine. So like booking a flight home, like we usually don't do it just because, I don't know, we don't know where we're going to be exactly. Sometimes we don't know when we want to go home. Like there's stuff like that. But if you do know when you have to be home by, something like that, honestly, just book it home. Make sure you're in that country by that time. It like don't
wait till the last minute to book a flight home. It
sounds nerve-wracking, but like it's really not. Like it's super easy to make sure you're somewhere.
We are not planners. Like people, we know people, and I've seen people that do like Excel spreadsheets and they're budgeting like their money, like, and like I'm gonna be here. They're like, this is what I'm doing. These are all the activities I'm doing on this day or whatever. And if you travel like that, that's totally cool. Whatever makes you happy. I literally hate planning. I don't want to plan ever because I'm like, I just want to do whatever I feel like doing on the day. So we literally don't plan anything. We plan as we go on our trips.
Because that's the thing. Like sometimes we're really vibing with the place. So it's like sometimes you just decide to book a couple more nights, and sometimes you don't want to go somewhere. Stuff happens. Like you want to be kind of in the moment and spontaneous. So it's like, I don't know. I wouldn't suggest to book like tons of stuff or like hostels, or like sometimes people give you suggestions and they're like, so you got to stay at this hostel. Now you already have one booked, and you're like, well,
I already have one booked.
And I feel like with planning comes a lot of expectations. And when those expectations are not met, some people get a little bit mad, a little bit cranky, and that is the last thing you want to do.
You're setting yourself up to possibly be disappointed,
and you don't want to be disappointed. You just want to be like, you know, whatever happens on this trip is going to happen, and I'm just going to have a great time no matter what happens, where I am, what I do, because that's the whole point, is just coming back and being like, I had the best time no matter what happened.
Like when we were in Mexico, we literally were like, we went to one place and then we're like, where are we gonna go next? Like I remember we planned out our first week like in like Playa, Tulum, Cancun kind of. Because like my friend was coming and she was only coming for a week, so we were like, hey, we'll just book everything for that week because it's a short amount of time, whatever. We literally didn't know where we were gonna go until like the night before we had to leave.
She was like, so where are you guys going after I leave? I was like, I don't know. And it was like the night before. I was like,
I don't know. We're just gonna figure it out.
I was like, I don't know. And then we just found, you just figure it out. And, like, obviously the more you do it, the better you get at it. And, like, I get your first trip, you want to plan a little bit. And maybe it's a little smart, too, to be honest. Just to ease your mind, which I get that. But just the least amount of planning that you can do, for me, like, it's just the better.
It's the same when we were in Europe. Like, we didn't plan anything. Like, we had literally our first place that we were going to meet, and then we didn't have anything else planned. Mm-hmm. And we went to so many places that I didn't even, like, think about going. Like, if we planned this 2-month trip out, like, every place that we were going to go, I know we would have, like, missed out on so many places that ended up being, like, some of my favorite places that we just went to because it was, like, cheap to go there, and we were just like,
let's just do it.
Yeah, like, whatever, let's just do it. So
right, like, 100%.
It worked out really good for us, and that's what we do every time now.
I will say, though, planning is not researching. They're two different things. Like, planning is booking all your hostels, booking all your plane tickets, train tickets, knowing where you're going to be at what time, booking your activities. Like, that's planning.
Yeah.
Researching is a completely different thing. I, like when we were in Europe, for some reason, I'm obsessed with the world, okay? I know a lot of things about, like, what's in what place, where I want to go, what lakes I want to see, what activities I want to do, what I want to eat, I just know all this stuff because I've just been obsessed with traveling for so long. So it's like when I get to a place, I know what I want to do already. Like, there might be a few things where I'll look up and be like it's so easy to be like, what to do in blah, 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 this place, but, like, do a deep dive into research on the places you're gonna go. Maybe you're gonna go. Just do, like, all of Europe, like, being like, I need to make it to this country because, like, I really want to see this place, or like, so you're not wasting time when you're there. And you kind of know a little bit about what you like and what you want to see and do. Like, that's a completely different thing. Like, do that sort of research. But don't plan it all. And don't be hardcore expectations. Be like, I have to, like, be here and here and here. Because the world is open. It will be there for you at some point. You don't have to make it anywhere. Again, go for a good time.
Also, hostels. Like, we stayed in some really, really awesome hostels, but we also stayed in some not so great hostels. So we liked to book, like, one night, maybe 2 nights if we knew we were going to be really busy and it was just going to be, like, annoying to try to find another hostel. But we like to book, like, one night because then if we didn't like it, we could just go stay somewhere else. But if we did like it, it's so easy to just go to the front desk person and be like, hey, like, we want to book more nights. And sometimes they're booked up, and that's just the way that it is. When you don't plan, you just got to accept it and find somewhere else. Yeah. But when we were in Mexico, all the hostels were booked up because everyone was traveling to Mexico, and we didn't plan anything. And we just stayed in hotels. It was honestly just as cheap. We always had somewhere to stay. We never had an issue. So
like, you're always going to find somewhere to stay. Like, don't ever worry about that. But that to me is huge too, because hostels and hotels and wherever your accommodations can honestly make or break your time that you have in a place. So it's like, if you don't like it, move along. Like, book one night. I always book one night. Like, that's just my thing. And I know some people are so indifferent about this. And, like, should you plan a trip? Should you not plan a trip? I'm all about not planning a trip.
I hate planning. I don't want to plan either. Like, but that's just what we do personally. Again, there's nothing wrong with wanting to plan and have everything organized. Like, that's just, like, different types of people. I feel like we're very not we're type very A, like type B. Yeah. I'm not type A at all. Like, literally at all. But and that's fine. It's honestly, just like, planning
stresses me out.
Like, yeah, dude, planning stresses me out.
It's too much expectation.
I also just like don't want to budget out my money. Like, I'm just gonna spend it and deal with it later.
Yeah. So, yeah, step 1 and 2 and maybe 3 are like the same. Obviously, pick your destination, book your flight, book your first accommodation. I don't care if it's a vacation. I don't care if you're going for a week or 2 weeks, or you're going for a year, a month. Those first, like, 3 steps are going to be the same. Mm-hmm. After that, yeah, like, just stop planning. Just stop it. Yeah. Just stop.
If you are only going somewhere for, like, a week, maybe 2 weeks, like, it's easier to just plan it before you go, because it's, like, you're not going to be there for that long. But you're probably going to be
staying in, like, 1, maybe 2 places.
Exactly. So that, for that sense, if it's a bit smaller trip, I feel like I do plan a bit more. But if I'm going for, like, a month, even, like, 3 weeks, like, I just kind of keep it open-ended. Don't book your flight home like super last minute though. Like kind of maybe like 3 weeks before you're gonna be home, just so that you don't get like a super high ticket. But Skyscanner finds you cheap tickets.
Super cheap. I've been finding Google Flights has been really good as well. So, also I put this in one of the videos, but it was like a long video, and who knows who watched that. So I'm just gonna say, get a credit card that works well with traveling. If you're a traveler and this is kind of what you want to do, and you're trying to prioritize traveling. Get a credit card that's going to help with that, because I have 2 credit cards that aid a lot in like one booking flights and one hotels, and they actually really do save me a lot of money, and I've gotten tons of cheap flights on this credit card. So
it's the WestJet RBC.
Yeah, the WestJet RBC one is really good. But there's like tons of ones you can get, and you can be a little credit card master and you can sign up for all these and get points. And there's a whole world on it. Google it, YouTube it. It's crazy how cheap you can travel for if you really, really are determined. I'm not, but cheers to you if you are. I don't know, anything else? Like, obviously vacay and traveling, like backpacking or moving around is going to be different. Like, again, like she said, maybe you want to plan your vacation a little bit more, but not too much. Again, we don't want expectations here. Even when I go to expectation girl.
Even when I go to like Mexico and stuff, even if I'm only going for like a week, I don't really book like any like excursions or anything until I get there, because it's just so easy to book them. There's always like, it's good to have the flexibility. Maybe the thing you want to do is booked up one day, but because you don't have anything else booked, you could just do it the next day. Yeah, exactly. Maybe you're hungover and you don't want to do it.
Like, we've literally booked things like, I feel like the day of, like the night before. We have done that for sure. Captain Carlos, Puerto Escondido, hey, what's up? Like, we want to be on your boat. He's like, yeah.
All the excursions we did in Playa, like, we booked it, like, basically the night before.
Yeah, super last minute. Yeah. When we did, we went in Peru, we hiked Lake Chumatai, I think it was called, the day before.
Yeah. And it was, like, $30.
Super easy. Like, in hostels, like, around the world, in Bali, like, I climbed a volcano the night before. Booked it right with the reception.
Yeah, a lot of times hostels and hotels, like, have ways to book, too, and they have, like... Because they know, like, they have things that maybe you didn't think that you, like, wanted to do. Like, when we went with Captain Carlos, like, we didn't even think about doing that. And literally, that was the best day of my life. Like, that was one of the coolest things I've ever done. And we just, like, this guy came up to us on the beach. He was like, do you want to go see some whales and dolphins? And we were like, maybe, I don't know. And then we just texted him, did it, and, like... It was literally amazing.
It was, like, incredible. So, and that was, like, super spontaneous. Like, who knew that you wanted to do that and everything? And it just all worked out. So, the world, I'm just going to say, the world is made for, like, this type of travel. It really is. It's made for, like, backpackers who are moving around and don't know what they want to do, don't know where they're going to be, booking things last minute, like... That, like, it is. When I was in Asia, like, you book a hostel, like, the day before. You can book multiple nights if you want to. Like, after you figured out that that's a good hostel, you can book the reception for the day after for any activities that they offer in the country or the island or wherever you are you're going to. It's made for that. If you're in South America, it's, like... It's all people have done, like, people have been traveling for years. Like, the countries know what's up. The tourism industries know what's good, and you'll be fine.
Literally, when we went to the Coliseum, I booked the ticket when we were standing outside of the Coliseum on my phone.
We had
nothing. We had nothing booked. This guy tried to scam us, like, outside. Literally, it was so easy.
We had nothing planned, and we were like, but we weren't even stressed because I was like, we have a couple days in Rome. If it doesn't work out today, we'll just come back tomorrow. Like,
yeah, exactly.
And also, that's another thing. If you're like somebody's talking to you outside of somewhere, and it's like, I can, like, just say no. Just say no. Go figure out your stuff and come back. Like,
yeah, unless it's like a ticket booth.
Yeah, unless it's like an actual legit thing.
Yeah.
But if it's not.
I'm going to just say one negative about doing it this way is you do have to set aside time to plan a little bit, like, during your trip. So it's like, if you want to just plan your trip, not think about it, it's good to plan before, but that stresses me out because that's, like, a lot. Mm-hmm. I like just planning along the way, but it's like sometimes you do have to, like, take an hour to, like, find a place to stay or, like, look up the tours that you want to do and whatever. But it's always good to have downtime, too, to So that's how you fill that time. So it doesn't bother me, but that is something to keep in mind, that you will have to take the time to find these places to stay, to find the flights, to do this while you're on your trip.
And that's why I said, like, do as much research as you can before you go, just so you can limit that time while you're on the road. So it's like, maybe you know of a hostel you want to stay, or like maybe like you just kind of know maybe the areas you're going to, and so you're at least a little bit familiarized with it. So that process takes not as long, but it's still true. Like, if you're not going to plan it, you're obviously you're going to have to plan it at some point, like your next day. Like, you know, it's not gonna just not happen. Like, you gotta book stuff eventually for your next couple days or next day or whatever. So yeah, you will have to take a little bit of time, but for me it's worth it. For us,
I like to do it that way too.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's, I don't know, I feel like that's about it.
I feel like that's good.
Yeah, like, don't plan and tell me how that goes, because it's the best.
Just try it. Try it and see what you like. And if it's not for you,
at least try and plan like as least as possible. If you are a type of person who wants to plan, just try and not. That's all my stuff.
So fuck the Excel spreadsheet. That's stressful.
I know. Like, no. Anyways. We hope your next trip is amazing. We hope it's spontaneous and fun, and
you gotta do whatever you want in the moment,
because you just don't know how you're gonna feel that day, and we just want you to have the best time in the world, because traveling is amazing, and we love you. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Turn on the notification bells to watch new videos.
We love you.
Mwah.